Hey guys, Steve Welch here, Beaman Toyota in Nashville. Coming to you with a video suggested by my beautiful wife, and it's a pretty good one. So the question is there are different cruise controls in different cars when it comes to Toyotas, but realistically there's only about 3 variations to them for how they look, but there's a couple of extra variations for them with how they operate. So I'm gonna show you a new Highlander, I'm gonna show you a 19 Highlander, and I'm gonna show you the new body style Camry, which came out in 2018. And the Camry is gonna be the same as the RAV4. Basically, this is gonna cover all of Toyotas for a very long way back. All right, so let's get started here. So I'm going to talk about cruise control in general. So what cruise does, obviously, is it maintains your speed. When you're talking about cruise, you're going to actually have there's a new type of cruise control that's called dynamic radar cruise control. Some people call it adaptive cruise control. Depends on which manufacturer. They all tend to have something like that now, where it'll watch the car ahead of you, and if you're got yours set to 70, it'll slow you down if the car ahead of you is going 60, even though you've got it set to 70. That's one of the new styles. Well, the old style cruise control that didn't have the adaptive, this was prior to really 2017 on most Toyotas. You set the cruise control, and if you start coming up on somebody, it'll keep going until you hit the brake to come off of it or cancel it or something along those lines. But pretty much most of the new ones since about 2017, like I said, are going to have some type of dynamic to them. But that being said, I'm going to show you this 2019 Highlander that's right here. The way that you set it is exactly the same. All right, so if we look on the inside here and you start looking, obviously we can start this here, but if you start looking, you'll see on the right side of the steering wheel, so right here. All right, and I'm gonna turn that off real quick, but on the right side of the steering wheel there is a stick. All right, you have on the outside here, you have on, off, and then if you look real close, you have your set, it says hold here, and I'm going to explain that in a second, and then you have your resume. All right, so, and you'll also see up top it says cancel. That's pulling back will cancel. So first thing you do is you hit this outside button. When you hit this, you're going to see it's going to say radar ready. All right, and like I said, this is about 17 and newer, with caveat I'm going to show you here in a little bit. All right, so now if you're driving down the road and you want to set it, you push that down. All right, so you push that down to set it. Right now, if you've hit the brake for any reason, you want to resume, obviously that's resume. Now once you're in cruise control, down will slow you down, up will make you go faster. So that's very easy. And then, like I said, if you want to cancel it, you can hit the brake, or you can pull that back to cancel that. While you're in that cruise control and you're in dynamic mode, you can hit this button right here, and you'll see it shows a different distance. That's roughly 6 car lengths, roughly about 4.5, and then roughly 3 car lengths for how close you'll be to the car ahead of you, obviously depending on the length of the car, of course. But that's rough estimates on about how far you're going to be. All right, so now if you want to go back and you don't want to be in radar cruise, by the way, you'll see that little icon with the car on there. That means you're in radar cruise. If you hold this, so while it's off, if you press and you hold the outside, you'll see that the little car went away. Now you're in what's known as conventional cruise control. So when I told you that, like a 2014 RAV4, if you're in that cruise control, it'll keep going, until you slow it down for whatever reason. So that's how you can switch back over, and that's still true today. But a lot of these sticks are going away. All right, so they're starting to do this a little bit different, but for the longest time, this is how you set your cruise control on a Toyota. So what's it gone to? I'm glad you asked. I'm actually prepared for that question. So we're going to come over to, this is a new Highlander. All right, and what you'll see on the new Highlander here is it's a little bit different on the, hang on, I'm going to go ahead and shut that air off. I got this one running. So but you're going to notice up here things are a little bit different. You no longer have that stick down here. Now you have everything up here. So you're going to hit this button, radar cruise active, pay attention to other vehicles. It gives you that little notice right there. You still have that same distance that you're seeing, and I'm hitting this right here, that button. you have that 6, that 4, 4.5, and then your 3 right up there that's hitting. All right. And this is lane departure, by the way, but I'm not talking about lane departure, talking about cruise control. So now this is the cruise. And now if you wanted to go back to conventional, you can still do that. So while it's off, press and hold this. You'll see now it says constant speed control ready. So that's your conventional cruise control, your old style cruise control. So you can still do that. All right. Now in Safety Sense 2.5, now this is why one of the reasons I'm bringing the Highlander up here. In Safety Sense 2.5, your cruise control will also sense your position of your steering wheel and will slow you down in a curve. I have one that talks about the curve speed reduction, a video that I've done on that. It explains how that works and how to reset that and how to adjust it. That's the curve speed reduction. That's part of Safety Sense 2.5 that's, as of 2021, is on the Highlander, the CHR, and the Camry. All right, so that's 2021 and beyond on those. I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be on more later, but as of right now, that's what it's on. All right, but you're going to notice this is your setup on your Highlander, and this is how this looks. So now most of the vehicles are going to be set up like the Camry. All right, so they're just a little bit different. Now your I believe your Sienna is set up like the Highlander as well, but when you get in your Camry, you're going to see your Camry looks a little bit different here. It's got this circle. The principles are the same. The stick is still gone, but you can hit this button right here. It still says radar ready, right? And then you can kind of see everything else that's there. There's your distances that we were talking about, right? So that's how all of that works. Very, very simple, right? So, and then if you wanted to set this, once again, while it's off, press and hold. Constant speed control ready. So you've gone back to your conventional cruise control. All right, very simple, very easy to do. It's actually, pretty cut and dry. So what else could I have to say about cruise control? There's actually something else that's really cool to know about the cruise control system. You still have more or less 3 different styles of cruise control. So you've got dynamic radar cruise control, the constant cruise control, and then you've got the one with the curve speed reduction. So while you're in the dynamic cruise control, you've got 2 different types of cruise. So you've got one that's called full speed and one that's called part-time speed. Now it depends on which car you have, which one you have. You can check your window sticker and figure it out. Some people say I'll just test it and figure it out, but like on your 19 Highlander, it does not have full speed. It has your part speed. So what it's going to do is that dynamic cruise control will slow you down all the way to about 25 miles per hour. Once it hits 25 miles per hour, the cruise control shuts off and it puts it back on you. So you're just going to be coasting. All right. But like with the new Highlander, with your RAV4, a couple of the other vehicles, you're going to have full speed cruise control. So what it'll do, it will take you all the way to a stop. So if you are driving, and you're in this Highlander and you're driving and traffic starts to slow down, it can take you all the way to a stop. Once it stops and it starts going again, tap the gas, it's going to put you back up to whatever you have it set, or as fast as the traffic in front of you will allow it until it stops again. You need to, however you're doing that, but it can actually help you to be a little bit more comfortable in stop and go traffic, which is exactly where all of us hope to be, or not. Anyway, but those are the 3 different really types of the cruise control that you can have when it's the dynamic. So you can have the one that goes to 25, the one that'll take you all the way to a stop, and then you can go back to the conventional if you wanted to do that. And then, obviously the older style Toyotas are just conventional. So hopefully that's kind of been a little bit coherent. But like I said, just depending on which one you have, most people on cruise control will have the stick. And the reason I say that is because the first time that they did the one that had it on the steering wheel, the way that I showed you in the Camry, was the 18 Camry. So prior to 2018, none of the Toyotas had anything other than that stick on the back. It was different. Toyota was the only one that really did that, I think. And they did it on that particular car. They did it on all of their cars, and then they changed it on that particular car in 2018, and then they just started carrying it over pretty much across the board. I think the 4Runner still has the stick as I'm making this video. Your trucks still have that. But I would suspect going forward, as body styles change, things along those lines, they're probably going to switch it to this style, just because that seems to be what they're doing. Hopefully that helped you, depending on which cruise control you have, to know how to operate it, how to set it, how to cancel it. And obviously you can always cancel cruise control by hitting your brake. So that's something you can always do as well. But with all those controls being on your steering wheel, it's definitely pretty easy to do. By the way, your cancel is right there on your Camry. So I'm going to add that for you. And then your resume up here, your set right there. And then the plus minus, just like I talked about on the stick. That's how you do it on there. It's the exact same on the Highlander. Forgot to show you guys that a little bit earlier, but hopefully you made it this far where you can see that your cancel on your Highlanders right there, resume, set, and then plus and minus to add or decrease speed is right there. So hopefully that's been beneficial for you guys. So Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota in downtown Nashville. Definitely let me know if you guys need any help with the car. Definitely like and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you guys pushing to the next level, of course. So let me know if I can help you guys out with anything. Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota in Nashville. Beautiful day. You guys have a great day.